BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcast.
Hello and welcome to Off the Telly on BBC Sounds. I'm Natalie Cassidy, also known as Sonia from EastEnders.
I'm Joanna Page, and you might probably know me best as Stacey in Gavin and Stacey. There's just so much telly out there that hopefully by the end of this episode you might have an idea of what kind of things to watch.
And just a little warning to you, there might be a few swear words in this along the way because we're just being ourselves. And also we will be talking about series from beginning to end, so there are a few spoilers. Oh, Joe!
Hello!
Welcome to Off the Telly. We're so excited. It's our first one.
I know, I'm very excited that we can now actually officially talk.
I know, well, whenever I see you, it's like save it, isn't it?
Save it. That should be our motto. Save it. Just don't say it. Save it for the podcast.
I like the fact that we live long away enough and we don't speak to each other during the week, which means we can save it all up and have this.
That's what our relationship is going to be like. It's only going to be like on podcast.
We're only going to talk to each other when we're recording.
Because we're just going to save it. I feel like an animal that's unleashed now. But yeah, this is our first one.
First one, Off the Telly. The reason we are wanting to do this is because we're both really busy, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Incredibly busy.
And we both love the telly. Mm-hmm. And this is a reason for us to watch more of it.
I've got 4 small children, so I think the way that we watch telly's different, isn't it?
Very different.
Because I will go upstairs at about 7:30, 8 with Bo, my smallest, and she's 2, but I'll get into bed with her, I'll put her on the boob, and then I go, I'll be down in a minute because, I've just got to settle the baby, and then my husband James never sees me again then for the rest of the night. Because I either will fall asleep, but now and then I wake up in the early hours, and then I will put my headphones in and get my phone, and then that is when I get to watch everything. So I'll watch dramas, comedy,
but are you not
documentaries.
knackered when you wake up?
I'm exhausted. I mean, I am exhausted because sometimes if there's something that's particularly got me, I've been known to stay up until about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, then I go to sleep until about 6 in the morning, get up for the kids, and then I'm just a wreck then for the rest of the day.
Oh, I don't know how you do it. No, I watch telly a lot differently. Me and the kids, obviously, we sit down. Eliza and Joni, I've got a 7 and 13-year-old, and Mark, my fiance. But we watch telly either all together or get the kids to bed, and then it's Mark and I's time to sit down and watch something nice, together.
Yeah.
But I don't watch stuff on my phone. I won't watch it on an iPad or a tablet. I do sit down and watch telly, but I think I could get used to the headphones and a little phone.
Yeah, I like the intimacy of it.
Well, look, we're here. We really want all of you to get in touch. We want to hear what you've been watching. We want to know if you agree with our opinions on stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about so many different programmes over the weeks. But
yeah, and give us some tips, because I'd say that we watch different things, don't we?
Yeah, very much so. And it is going to be quiz shows, documentaries, dramas on all the different channels. So we're open and up for watching anything, aren't we?
And whatever anybody's talking about that week, whatever's in the news, or, it could be anything that you've watched.
Absolutely. So talking of the news, actually. Sorry I've got to ask you, Joe. I've got to ask you.
Oh no, I'm scared.
I have seen this week quite a lot of chat about Gavin and Stacey returning.
What's occurring?
What is going on? I'm so excited. Please tell me. Tell me. What are you going to tell me?
Nothing. I haven't got anything to tell you.
Really?
Absolutely nothing at all. I have got no information, no news. I mean, I don't write it. Ruth and James do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't got a clue.
Well, all I can say is if that happens, I am so excited. And I want to come down as a fan to the set if it happens and just stand and get everyone's autograph.
I tell you what we should do, though. On one of our episodes, we need to do an EastEnders special and then a Gavin and Stacey special.
Absolutely. I want to hear all about it. I would love that. I think the listeners are like that as well.
Oh, I think they'd love it. I think they would.
Right. What have we watched this week?
Okay, so this week we are going to be talking about how The Apprentice doesn't really do it for us anymore.
Not really.
Also about how one day completely and utterly destroyed me.
It didn't destroy me.
And how we love watching Gladiators and it just takes us back to our childhood.
Absolutely. And could we do it?
I could do it with Legend.
Right, should we get into it? Let's talk telly. Let's talk about The Apprentice, a show that has been going for a long, long time with Lord Alan Sugar at the helm, looking for somebody to go into business with. So this week, they went to Jersey.
I love your tone of voice already.
Do you know why? Because I cannot believe... Where do they find these people?
Do you know, I don't know, right, but it's got to be in some factory where there's little cells of each personality type, because I'm not even joking, it's been going for about 20 years, and it's the same
It is
people.
the same. It is the same.
They're all shit and they're all the same.
Well,
that's awful thing to say.
It's an awful thing to say because, come on now, it's edited. They're probably lovely people.
Yes, and they're probably really... Well, I don't know if I can push it to say that all of them are really good at their jobs.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
No.
I mean, when they kept asking for shackled oysters, I did want to throw my remote at the telly.
It's like I don't
It
get
was shucked.
Yeah.
It said shucked on the paper, and then they kept going, have you got any shackled? I was like, at least get the word right.
I don't get, right, how you can be in like an office with all of you, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is what we've got to do. We've got to find these things. We've got to work out what they are.
Yeah.
If we don't know what they are, because I'm assuming they're not allowed to like look it up on their phone.
So funny you've said that, because that was one of the things I thought. It is now. We do live in a world.
Yeah.
As soon as you see something, we're on Google.
Yeah.
Right? We're looking it up immediately. When they were saying, oh, what do we think this is? I was kind of like, oh, get your phone out. But obviously they can't do that. But it does show you how reliant we are.
What about that girl on one of the teams? And I think she became the sub-team. Oh, no, she wasn't the sub-team leader. She was one of the ones on the team. And they said, have you ever used a map before? And she was like, it'll be fine. They went, no, but have you actually ever used a map? And she went, well, no, I never have. But I'm sure it's quite easy to do. And I thought, oh, my God, am I that old?
Yeah, we are.
I mean, when I used to go out and about for like auditions and work and stuff like that, I'd have my little mini A to Z.
Yeah.
And you just follow that for wherever you were going. She's never read a map.
There's loads of people that have never read a map now.
Oh my God,
There's
it's
loads.
unbelievable.
I know.
But also, you just know what's going to happen with the episode. You just know they're not going to be able to find it. I knew they were going to go into some antiques place and that Karen would stand there and like give that look.
Can we just talk about Karen a minute? One thing that I took away from the programme is I would like her sunglasses. They were banging. Now, I need to find out where they're from.
Yes.
Because actually that was probably the highlight for me of the programme.
Yeah.
But I do love the show. I know it's been going for years, but I do, again, there's something just warm and cosy about it. I watch it with Eliza, I watch it with my daughter, but I do enjoy the chaos of it. I do love Lord Sugar's one-liners. They're getting worse.
I tuned in, right, because I was just like, right, I'm here, I'm ready, right, you give me the episode, I'm ready for it. I've watched it for years and years and years, and I want to watch it because it's right up my street.
Yeah.
And so I've been watching, the series, and then it was like, oh, it's the one where, you have to go and collect all of the different things, and Jesus Christ, how many times have they done that?
I know they have. I mean, the week before they did the escape room thing.
Yes.
Now, even, I just feel like, do they not get enough time or is it panic? Because I just thought, do you know what? If someone said to me, right, you're going to go in there now and you're going to make an escape room.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe I could have made a better one.
Oh, I think you could have. You could have done better acting for starters. I don't understand why they have somebody doing the, like the acting, like the girl when she was doing the acting bit. No. And she seemed very uncomfortable. So I don't know why, they made her do it.
Well, then maybe not any of them want to do the acting part, but someone's got to do it.
But it's like, if you're going to do an escape room,
yeah,
you would do an escape room. Because like one of the teams didn't even have a room to escape. Well, I don't think either of them. They were like running through like a not a jungle, but there were the bears and everything. Where was the room?
Well, the plane crashed on a desert island and they ended up in a wood. I was like, are these people on acid? What are you doing? If you're on a desert island, lovely. Let's have a few palm trees.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let's do the sand and maybe a treasure chest.
Yeah.
No. They got off and ended up in the fucking woods. I didn't quite understand it.
I know. It's like, it doesn't make sense. And after all these years, why are they doing the same tasks and why are they making the same mistakes? And then you have the same thing of, we're going to avoid being the project manager because that means that you're going to get thrown off.
Well, I have to say, this week, both of them got thrown off, so they're not wrong on that.
Well, I have to be honest, right? I missed that because I was watching and I was all fired up for it. I was like, right, I am prepared.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened, but I woke up just as Alan was going, "You're fired." And I was like, oh, Jesus, I've fallen asleep. And I slept. So I got as far as the boardroom and then I went out cold. And then I woke up just as the second one was being fired. And I thought, you know what? I don't even need to rewind because I could tell you now exactly what had happened.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. But yeah, he got everyone back. He was fuming.
Why did he get everyone back?
Because Karen and Tim said, look, they've all been appalling. So he did get everyone back, which I quite liked.
But I think they do. I think they're shafted. I bet they give them hardly any time, and then they probably the places to get everything. It's like one bit's one half of the island, the other bit's the other half of the island.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, come on, it's not hard to get a few Jersey new potatoes out of the ground.
No, it's not, is it?
I don't think so.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yes, I do enjoy it. Is it something that I could not watch again? I wouldn't miss it. Put it that way. If it wasn't on anymore, I wouldn't miss it. But when it's on, I do enjoy it. But that is probably because of my daughter more.
But it's become like history now, isn't it? Because there are certain things that, you know, I've watched for years and they're not as good anymore, but I am prepared to stay with it because I've watched it for such a long time that, you know, I'll tune in and I'll watch it.
I love when they get to the stage of their business plan.
Yeah.
And they go into the room.
Oh, I like that.
And they're crying, they're being ripped apart. I quite enjoy that. In a very odd way.
But I know, I love that as well. But I'm always like astounded that you've got to that stage and everything in your life has been building to this moment. And you should know your deal inside out.
Absolutely.
And they go in and they've either made up the figures or they genuinely don't know what the figures are. Like, I can't even imagine doing that.
No, well, you've got to have done your homework, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit like you and I.
Yeah.
Doing this and me going to you, I've not watched any telly this week.
I know. Or me going, I just slept through the end of the Apprentice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's like, I don't get it, but I do like it. Yeah, I do like when they come out and they're crying. And
I tell you how they could jazz it up, Joe.
Yeah.
And I think you'd be up for this.
Yeah.
I would like to see a bit more of them in the house.
Oh, now that's true.
We could do a little Big Brother-esque.
Yes.
It'd be quite good to see what they're all talking about in the house. I bet that's interesting.
I bet that is more interesting. I bet they have to, like, you know, be careful with that because I bet all sorts goes on. Flings.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, flings, affairs, doodahs, all sorts. Yeah. But I bet that's the interesting bit.
Well, I think I'm going to continue to watch it. But I do agree. I think they could spice up the tasks.
Yeah. I think they need to do another celebrity one because they've not done one for ages, have they?
No, that's true. They did one for... They used to do it for Comic Relief, didn't they? Or
Yeah.
Children in Need, one of the two.
Yeah, I remember Piers Morgan and... was it Piers Morgan and Alexander Campbell?
Oh, I can't remember.
Alistair
Campbell. I thought you were going to say Alexander Burke. I mean, it could be any of them.
I mean, yeah, they're all kind of the same type. Yeah. But yeah, I think they should do another celeb one.
Yeah,
That
no,
might
I
mix it
agree.
up a bit.
Mix it up a bit.
All right, listeners, what do you think then? Do you agree with us about The Apprentice? Let us know what you think. We'll give you the number for our WhatsApp at the end of the show. So next, we're going to talk about the show that everyone is talking about at the moment, One Day. I mean, you must have seen a poster for it somewhere. I mean, everyone's talking about it.
Oh, it's all over Instagram as well.
It is, isn't it? I mean, it's just gone mad. And it's taken from the novel by David Nichols, and it follows Em and Dex, basically for about 20 years. It absolutely and utterly destroyed me. I'm still recovering.
I am looking forward to this chat.
This morning, right, I started telling my husband about it. And spoilers here, right, we're going to full on talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the series. We watched it from 1 to 14. So if you haven't watched it all yet, you know,
be
give
prepared.
This a miss. Or, you know, it's up to you.
There's big spoilers. This morning, so... a glimpse into my life is me trying to breastfeed the baby while hair drying my hair and then explaining to James all about One Day. I'm being annoyed at the fact, right, that he's not watched it with me because there's no way we've got time to sit down and watch 14 episodes of something together. Yeah. And so I've watched it on my own. And then I said to him, I explained the story of it to him, like really briefly. I was nearly late this morning because I was explaining it to him. I started crying when I explained halfway through to the end. And then I said to him, I just wish that you'd watched it, because then it would make you realise just how much you love me. And he was like, but I do love you anyway. And he said, did it make you realise how much you love me? And I was like, yes, it did. But in my head, I thought, well, no, it didn't really, because I was so involved in like M and X that I wasn't even really thinking about my own life. I can't watch stuff like this now. I'm going through the menopause. I'm too emotional.
Can I tell you my view?
Yes, because I am going to go into detail about the rest of it.
I thought episodes 1 to 5 were like watching paint dry.
Oh my God, how? We grew with them. Are you serious?
Seriously.
Why? What was it about?
I thought, do you know what? I've really, really thought about this because everyone's talking about it. I loved the playlist. I loved the music. I liked the way it was shot. I thought the 2 lead actors were brilliant. Honestly, everything was really good, but I don't know why it didn't grab me. It just didn't grab me. Now, after about Ep 7, when he started getting the telly career and, you know, that sort of...
Yeah.
I then sort of invested myself into it. I enjoyed it. But it didn't make me cry.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Does not make me cry.
I made myself ill. I mean, oh my God. So, because you hadn't read the book or seen the film.
I haven't read the book. I would like to now read the book because
Yeah.
everyone says what a cracking book it is. The film I'm going to pass on because they say that that's worse than this. So it's certainly not for me.
Yeah. So did you have any idea about what was going to happen?
No.
What happened to you when it did happen?
I thought, oh, okay. She's in the rain on a bike. Something's going to go wrong. I think I thought they were great. I just thought it was very slow at the beginning, but it was slow for me in a way that wasn't clever slow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever seen The Detectorists.
No.
Toby Jones.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Crook. They're metal detectorists. And it was so beautiful and very, very slow and not a lot happened. But it was beautiful. This kind of at the beginning I thought was very, very slow, not a lot happened. And I was bored stiff. Would that happen? I just thought, would it all happen? I don't know if I believed it.
Yes.
And I'm not an overtly romantic person, right? So I just kind of thought, it's just all a bit sickening to me.
I know what you mean, right? Because on the first night, I watched 1.5 episodes.
Yeah.
When she went, they went back for the one night stand, and then she was talking, and I was kind of like, Em was annoying me at that point, because I was like, oh, for God's sake, just kiss him, he's gorgeous. You're drunk, you probably would. Just kiss him, he's gorgeous. I think you would just kiss him.
I think they're both gorgeous. I loved the pair of them. Yeah. Genuinely. I thought he was brilliant. I thought his emotions were brilliant. I think he played all of it amazingly. Yeah, and at the end, when he was in his childhood bed, I may have had a watery eye.
Yeah.
I didn't cry, but I may have had a watery eye. He was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
Absolutely loved, I've written it down actually, Amber Grappy, who played Tilly.
Oh my God, I loved her. She was brilliant.
She was absolutely brilliant. I wanted her to be my best friend.
Yeah.
Actually, I loved episode 12.
Yes.
And 13.
Which one was that?
Just where he'd got his stuff together. He was going to get the calf.
Yeah.
You know, his dad was there. His dad was finally sort of proud of him.
Yeah.
You could see everything was coming together. And I did think that is lovely. And I'm so pleased they're together and happy. And, then she wanted a baby. And
my God, but what about when they were lying in bed together and his daughter was lying in between them? And then she said to him, I want to have a baby. Yeah. And then I think I don't know if she said, do you want one? And he said, I always wanted to.
He said, I've been waiting for you
Just been waiting for you.
Yeah, no, that was lovely.
I mean, my God, I was crying then. I was like, oh my God, this is just, And then you get they had about 4 good years together. And at that point, I felt like I was their friends and that they were real.
Yes.
They had about 4 good years together. But because I'd seen the film and I'd half read the book, right, I knew that they got together then. And it was lovely. And I'm so glad that he made up with his ex-wife, right?
Oh, me too. And I loved that.
But from about that point onwards, when they eventually got together, I was loving it. And it was so nice. And then he was getting the cafe and it was all really lovely.
I loved all of that.
But
I did love that.
I was waiting because I knew what was going to happen. And
no, you say that. I mean, I may not have read the book, but I was sort of waiting for something to happen. I think it was quite obvious something was going to happen.
But every time she went outside...
It wasn't going to end, was it, with him going, would you like a latte, have a baguette, we're pregnant, the end.
But I I was so invested in it. But then every time she was outside and she was crossing a road,
you were panicking,
I was like, shit, it's going to be now. Oh my God, and they've gone to have a look at the cafe with his dad. And I'm like, oh, and then she's like, right, bye, I'll see you later. I'm like, oh my God, oh Jesus, it's going to happen. I was like that for about 2 episodes, having a panic attack every time she was outside.
Oh, that's quite
And
good.
then when, he was just waiting, he'd obviously been on Right Move or something, and he's waiting, and he's waiting there for her. And then she's on the bike, and it starts to rain. I just knew. I was like, it's coming. And then, oh my God, they're on the, she's leaving the message.
I know the voicemail,
And then, boom, it happened.
I know, I love
was gone.
See, that happened, awful. And then you go back to him being drunk and ruined again and in the strip club, and then he gets kicked out. And then he's on the floor of the ex-wife,
it's devastating. I mean, he just sat there. Did you see the tears were just dripping? Yeah. And I was so moved and so devastated, but also the actress side of me came out and I was like, Jesus Christ, how is he managing? I mean, he's a brilliant actor. But I was like, oh my God, how is he managing to like...
Well, he must have been absolutely exhausted. And that kind of visceral, kind of animalistic pain.
And what about when his dad said, you just need to try and live?
I know.
Like, she's still here. What do you think I've been doing the last 10 years?
I was just about to say, what do you think?
Jeez, I was sobbing about that, and then he goes up and he just sobs.
Or maybe I'm just a hard bitch because
I think you are hard.
Maybe I've just had a week of it. I'm not premenstrual or anything, so maybe if I watched it in a week or two, I'd be crying my eyes out.
I wonder if he's ever had to use any tear stick.
I don't think there was a tear stick in there.
Because, and for people listening, right, tear stick is when you're acting and you've got to like cry and cry and cry. Sometimes you either can't do it or you can't get the tears or you're damn exhausted and there's no more, you're dehydrated. And they put like, imagine... Don't
try this at home, but if you get your thick vapour rub and you rub it under your eye...
That basically is tear stick, and it brings tears, and it just makes you cry. I was like flipping, or I don't know how he can manage that. And what's going to happen now? He's numbed himself now, and he's getting on with life. What's going to happen?
It's all right, sweet. He's on another job.
But
he's doing well. He's flying high.
I composed 2 messages to Ambika and then to him, Leo.
Oh, did you?
To the pair of them, and to send on Instagram.
Did you?
To the pair of them. I wrote it, and then I thought, God, words can't express how much this has moved me.
You should definitely.
So I deleted it all because I sent them to both of them because I was going to because it moved me, and their performances moved me so much. And then I thought, oh God, they'll just think I'm idiots. No, so I deleted all.
No
of
actor. We all would love to be told that something really moved you.
But honestly,
they were brilliant.
So
I genuinely mean that. I thought the acting.
Yeah.
For me, it was just. I can't even explain it.
I am going to have to think that he is flying high. He is on his next job. I mean, he's major in Hollywood now. He's perfectly fine. He's fine. And I saw her doing like some photo shoots the other day on Instagram. She looked absolutely stunning. I mean, she's obviously having a fab time. Yeah. So I got to get over it. But
she's not dead.
Dex, then she's not dead, and he's not grieving. But honest to God, it's going to take me a while to get over it.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, we are going to move on from it. Next week we need to watch some jolly stuff.
Yeah, I need something to just lighten the mood.
Let's lighten the mood. Our eyes are watering here. I'm not joking. I promise you. Get the woman some tissues.
Right, so what did you think? I mean, are you like me and did it completely and utterly destroy you?
Or are you more in my camp where you loved it, but it didn't make you cry? Let us know your thoughts. Send us a message on WhatsApp. Right, third and final programme to talk about today, Gladiators. Perfect Saturday night telly.
Gladiators.
Contenders.
Ready.
Versus real people, loads of games, loads of fun, loads of screaming. Lovely. I think we need to talk, before we go into the programme, you were telling me earlier, tell me the story about Jet, a legend, please.
Oh, I tell you what, right?
Go on.
When Gladiators first came back, James, my other half, was like, oh, I just love Gladiators. Jet. Oh, Jet was amazing. When I was younger, she was my first crush.
Yeah.
Oh, I spent so much time thinking about her. Oh, she was just amazing. Jet. I swear to God, if I hear one more mention of Jet, I'm like, oh my God. Well, the other day he was going on Jet. And I just went, you know what, right? Jet is a lesbian and I think she's recently got married. So stuff you. You can't even go out with her. Not that he will ever be able to go out with Jet because he's 48 and he's married with 4 children. So he's not going to ever go out with Jet.
It's funny how your mind does that though.
Yes.
You think, oh, well, that's okay because they've just got married in Ibiza. You think, no,
I was like, yeah, she's not even going to look at you anyway. And she's just got married. So get over Jet, which is very hypocritical of me.
Go on.
Because even my son, my 8-year-old son, when we were watching Gladiators, went, Mummy, why do you fancy Legend so much?
Now, hang on. I've got to pick that apart, right? Why did he say that? Were you googly-eyed at the
have
telly?
not stopped going on about Legend.
Oh, so it wasn't something you were doing whilst watching the telly that made him...
I was perving over him, going, how much I fancy him.
Right.
And and every time Legend comes on, James is always like, oh, here we are, Legend's on for this one. There we are, Joe, Legend's on this one. And also, James knows exactly right, because James said to the kids, he said, I used to be like that, obviously not that massive and built and everything, but he said the arrogance and like the funny arrogance which Legend has got, that he's so cocky and he's, really cocky in front of himself. Obviously not in real life, he's, putting a thing on.
Yeah.
But he said that's what Daddy used to be like when he was younger, and that's what Mummy loved about Daddy. And it's true, because James was really cocky and arrogant.
Oh, that
and,
sounds
he was
fabulous.
Northern and cocky and arrogant, and that's what I really fancied about him. And his forearms and his collarbone. That's what I really, really like that about him.
It's funny, isn't it? They say that, don't they, about the shoulders?
Yes. Well, on our first date, he was wearing a grey top and it was slashed across his neck. And I just remember seeing his collarbone. It was lovely. And he used to smoke in those days. And he used to push his sleeves up and then stand there with a cigarette. And he had gorgeous forearms.
Slashed neck, grey top. What was he, a ballerina?
Well, I tell you what, he did used to do quite a lot of dance.
Did he? Yeah, well, that's a bit of a dancey outfit. I like that. You have to show me a photo. No, we watch it. We love it. My Eliza, obviously she's 13. She doesn't get on with it.
Really?
No, she's a bit, I can't stand this programme. But I like it. Joni likes it. It's not a massive yay in our house, but I like it. It's not, what I love is they've brought it back and it is the same as it was. Now, I know I sound really old. I know I sound really boring.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they've brought it back and we know the games. We remember being children. I remember that, you know what I mean? All of it, the Travelator and the wall. I just love the fact that it takes me back to being a little girl again.
They've not messed around with it. They've brought it back. It's doing its job.
Yeah.
We've got the same games, the same music. We know what to expect. Yeah. And it's perfect. I love it.
I do. And Joni said, can we go? I want to sit in the audience and I want to do a big sign and put her favourite people on it. And so it's definitely capturing, the younger generations.
Yeah.
It's still there. The programme's still got it.
God.
And I like Bradley and his son presenting. Do you?
Yeah, me too. I do. Yeah.
I mean, people go, Bradley Walsh's son. And I think, do you know what?
Yeah.
Good for Bradley.
Yeah.
He's got his son doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'd do it if I could.
I would as well.
Why not?
And they're really sweet together.
And
I think
they really get on
nice.
together, and I think good for you. Brilliant.
Do you think that because I watch it now and I go, oh God, I'd love to have a go at that, and I think I could have half a chance, or I'd love to do the Eliminator and I think I'd have a damn good go.
Yeah.
But the reality of then having to hold my own body weight going over the monkey bars,
Joe,
I don't know, but I'd like to have a go.
Joe, I go and reach to put a book on a shelf and my arm hurts me. So I'm not going to be swinging from any of those.
Sometimes, right, when I've been putting the washing away and I've been putting up too many coat hangers, my arm aches a bit.
Yeah, I know. Which is why we're not gladiators.
But I still think that I could have a go.
Right, well, we're going to organise it.
Do you think they'd slow the Travelator down?
No. They might do, a little bit.
Yeah, I think, because watching some of it, and in the previous things, before these quarterfinals and stuff, when people have fallen about 3 times and they haven't got a hope in hell, do you think they slow it down then, out of pity?
I don't think they slow it down on the show, but they might do. I'm going to, that's it now.
What?
I'm going to I want to go to the Gladiators set.
Yes.
And I want you to do it. And I'll be there.
I tell you what,
and we can pod it.
Oh, I would be up for doing that, right? I would, because I would be well up for doing that.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. People would love to watch that, I think.
Yeah, we'd have to do it.
And it's brilliant that you want to do it. I do not want to do it, by the way.
Really?
Let me just say now I'm not doing it. No urge whatsoever.
Let's just see if I can have a go.
No, let's sort it out. You have a go. I'll be there. I'll have a banner. I'll make a banner for you and everything.
Yes.
And then I'll talk to you and talk you through it. You can tell me how it was.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the show? And would you like to see us on Gladiators? Would you like to see Nat on the Eliminator?
Joe.
Let us know on our WhatsApp. I think we've actually done our first episode.
I think we have.
We got through it. We did it.
We did it. Well done, Jo.
Well done. Oh my goodness. I feel like now for our second episode, I want to bring in like tea and cake and biscuits and have a meal as we're doing it.
Well, we could do, but I hate chewing when you're talking.
God, that's true.
Not nice for our listener.
That's true. I've already seen. Look, I've gone. I'm here just in my own world. I'm not aware anymore of what I'm even saying.
We can't thank you enough for listening to us. We really, really hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh, I hope so. I hope we've been all right for you.
And we hope that you get in touch with us. We've got a number. This is how posh we are now.
We've actually got a number.
Let us know your thoughts. Do you agree on what we've said today? Or have you got stuff that you want us to watch? 03... No, let's do it like this. 0330 678 4704.
Thank you.
See you next week, Jo.
Yeah, see you next week as well. And remember, we don't talk at all beforehand. Save it.
Save it.
So if you want to watch what we've been talking about, The Apprentice is on BBC One on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
Or One Day is binge watching on Netflix. 14 eps for you to enjoy.
And then Gladiators is on a Saturday night on the BBC.
You can listen to Off the Telly on BBC Sounds every Wednesday. Off the Telly is hosted by Natalie Cassidy and Joanna Page. The producer is Georgia Keating. The commissioning editor is Rhiann Roberts. And it's a BBC Studios production for BBC Sounds.
Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Mosley, and in my BBC Radio 4 podcast, Just One Thing, I'm investigating some quick, simple and surprising ways to improve your health and life. So which will you try? Maybe some green tea to boost your brain power. Time's up. Or doing the plank to lower your blood pressure. How about snacking smartly, delicious, to benefit your heart health? So, to benefit your brain and body in ways you might not expect, here's just one thing you can do right now. Subscribe to the podcast on BBC Sounds.